If you grew up in the 2000s and 2010s and had cable TV, you've probably heard of Turner Broadcasting System, as they were the original owners of Cartoon Network, Boomerang, and Adult Swim. It was founded in 1965 by Ted Turner, and the company is most known for pioneering the concept of the superstation with the satellite uplink of WTCG, which would later be known as TBS. In 1980, Ted Turner founded the Cable News Network, also known as CNN, which was the first 24-hour news channel, and in 1992, Ted Turner founded Cartoon Network, which was the first all-cartoon network, which at the time only really showed Hanna-Barbera and Warner Bros. Shorts that Turner acquired. Over time, as Cartoon Network grew as a channel, it obtained more original programming such as the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Ed, Edd and Eddy, and many other iconic shows. However, with the addition of these new programs, there was really nowhere for the old Hanna-Barbera and Warner Bros. Shorts to thrive. So Ted Turner came up with the bright idea of making a programming block on Cartoon Network to air these shows while there was like the, actual programming, the original programming. Now, even though this did start out as a small programming block, it had potential, and Turner saw that potential. So on April 1st, 2000, Boomerang became its full solo sister channel to Cartoon Network. Boomerang really just did what it did on the programming block on Cartoon Network. It showed all like the old Hanna-Barbera and Warner Bros. Shorts like Huckleberry Hound, Yogi Bear, Snagglepuss, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Tom and Jerry, etc., etc. And it even had these cool toy bumpers to boot. They brought on Michael Kohler to compose the main theme, which is known as Boomerang Generic, and many other songs for the channel. Boomerang had a steady 15-year run up until early 2015, when they decided to come up with the bright idea to change a channel all about old animation to modernize it. They put advertisements on it, and then they completely axed those cool toy bumpers that many children and I grew to love as a kid. They got rid of it all for this bland, ugly Cartoon Network 2.0 look. The old logo was fucking genius, because the old logo's B was shaped like a boomerang, and the slogan, "It's all coming back to you," was also genius as well, because it's a boomerang, and when you throw a boomerang, it's supposed to come back to you. And it made sense because they were airing all these old shows, and like these are shows that haven't been on TV in a long ass time. So like they were all coming back to you, like the nostalgia, the memories. It was genius. They knew what they were doing with this. Boomerang also had a few programming blocks like Boomer Action, which would air more action-heavy cartoons like Johnny Quest. Boomerandom, where one show would be randomly picked and would be aired for 2 hours. Boomerang Zoo, which was a 1-hour block which featured Hanna-Barbera cartoons with animals as their main character, like Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Snagglepuss, etc. You have Boomer Royalty, which was a weekend marathon type thing where they would have one character be spotlighted for that month. It would change monthly, and they'd show that character's show for like, I think, a few hours on the weekends. There are other blocks, but if I named them all, we'd be here all day. However, in 2015, Boomerang's rebrand was not received very well, as people deemed it was unnecessary, and it seemed forced. It seemed like, oh, let's find a way to ruin an iconic TV channel that's been beloved by millions for years, for about 15 years, with really no issues, besides the occasional removal of a few shows and the occasional repeat of bumpers and shows. So, where is Boomerang now? Well, it's pretty fucking irrelevant. As nowadays, we now have spiritual successors like MeTV Toons, which just basically does what Boomerang did 15 years before the rebrand, but way better. They show old shows that Boomerang didn't even really have or couldn't get, or maybe even they didn't even show much at all, barely. While I've been talking about Boomerang a lot, I never really brought up Adult Swim, and that's because that's for Mike Lazo. Yes, Ted Turner did play a hand in making Adult Swim what it is today in its early years, but Adult Swim, it started as an animation experiment in the 90s with Space Ghost Coast to Coast, where it had the talk show type aesthetic where we had the Hanna-Barbera superhero Space Ghost, and they recycled animation from the old Hanna-Barbera shorts and made something new. The show wasn't meant to be good. Like, the show was designed, the budget, it looked low budget. It looked like something you'd probably see at 12 a.m. in the middle of the night when you're trying to go get a drink or something. It seemed like something you'd see on Adult Swim. And later on in 2001, just a few days before 9/11 happened, Adult Swim launched to the public.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out. Adult Swim. All kids out of the pool.
Now, Adult Swim, at the time, really only showed home movies and other shows like C-Lab 2021, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, The Brack Show, and in 2002, Adult Swim started trying to bring anime to the West, trying to make it mainstream with its block Adult Swim Action, where they would air iconic anime such as Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Mobile Suit Gundam, Outlaw Star, Wolf's Rain, Blood Plus, FLCL, Trigun, Crayon Shin-Chan, Super Milk-Chan, you had Samurai Champloo, you had Death Note, Bleach, Naruto, and so many other iconic anime aired on this block. Not to mention, Adult Swim had a kick-ass soundtrack because they had all these Atlanta greats like Manamana Goodsong, Psyche Origami, and even other artists like fucking MF Doom, Madlib, Tyler the Creator. You had Nujabes, J Dilla, Wild Child, Yesterday's New Quintet. You even had Flying Lotus and many other iconic artists that I can't name all of them because I will be here all day. Adult Swim over time started growing and actually started gaining an identity and an actual genuine fan base. I'm not saying it didn't have a fan base in its early years. It sure as hell did. It was just like that underground niche little brother to Cartoon Network, just trying to take his baby steps into the world of animation. And over the years, Adult Swim started getting big hits like Robot Chicken, The Boondocks, Moro Oro, Frisky Dingo. And in 2013, Adult Swim would probably get its biggest flagship show since Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Rick and Morty. Over time, Adult Swim seems to have evolved from the picture bumpers from the early 2000s to more cinematography time-lapse bumpers, which they started doing in 2014. I mean, do you see this image? To you, it may seem like a normal image of Atlanta traffic, but it is. But you add some J Dilla over this shit, and it makes you fucking ascend. Cause like Adult Swim were the fucking masters of making something so simple seem so effective. Like, just take this image of like a train, or like a fucking tractor, or maybe Mount Fuji, and slap some Psyche Origami, MF Doom, Yesterday's New Quintet over that shit, and boom, you got a fucking banger right there. Adult Swim were the kings of underground hip hop and spotlighting artists that really fucking deserved it, because Psyche Origami, they were fucking underrated as hell. Especially Manamana Good Song. They sampled a ton of really good things in their songs. And their songs in general just had really good flow. The instrumentals were fire. So yeah, Adult Swim really did play a big role in my music taste and many other people's music taste as well. Not to mention those black and white text bumpers they started doing in 2003, where they communicate directly to the audience, like we're physically there talking to them. They found a way to communicate with the audience through text on screen. And it was cool because like these bumpers would talk about trendy events, like what's trending at the time, like different movies, like, and they'd even have like these fan mail submissions where you could go on the forums and then you could write some bullshit, and there's probably a chance it'll probably appear on Adult Swim that night. Like, bro, imagine you're just on your computer just typing some random shit, and then the next, like, a few hours later, you're watching Adult Swim, and then you see your message there for many million other people to see. Adult Swim had a great way of bringing everyone together. It had a sense of community, a sense of unity. It felt like everyone was there at the same time watching the same weird stoner shit, just in a different place at a different time. That's the magic of cable TV that really was lost when streaming became mainstream. Now, over the years, Adult Swim did kind of get a little stale, especially since in the 2010s and maybe I think mid 2000s they started their live action era with shows like Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job, and Children's Hospital. Like, I'm not gonna hate, because some of these shows were good, and there were others that were I mean, you had Black Jesus by fucking Aaron McGruder, the creator of The Boondocks, like The Boondocks. And that brings me into my next topic, The Boondocks. Let's talk about the first 3 seasons of The Boondocks, because season 4, we don't talk about season 4 of The Boondocks. That was hot ass. Anyways, the first 3 seasons of The Boondocks are some of the best things ever televised on television. The Boondocks was not afraid to speak the truth, okay? It was more like, yes, it was funny, but it also did a good job at, like, teaching. And you had Huey here being like the freedom revolutionist. He preached, in like multiple episodes he spoke about like real world issues, and like it felt powerful because Regina King, I think, voiced both Huey and Riley in the show, which is absolutely fucking insane. So over time, the Boondocks, the first 3 seasons, mwah, chef kiss. However, season 4 was absolute booty cheeks. What the fuck were they thinking? So apparently season 4 did have Aaron McGruder's involvement, contrary to popular belief, since people were like, oh, Aaron McGruder left the show after the 3rd season due to disputes with creative differences. So yeah, he left to go on to make Black Jesus, and I think he also, I'm not sure, I think he made Black Dynamite, I think. But yeah, Aaron McGruder, he didn't fully leave Adult Swim. He kept making stuff. However, he sold the rights to the Boondocks to Sony, so now he doesn't really own his own like show. And I'm pretty sure this is common knowledge, but the Boondocks actually started as a comic strip, syndicated comic strip, and then Aaron McGruder tried to pitch his show to other networks such as Fox, but they rejected it due to how offensive they deemed it. They thought it was vile, they thought it was disgusting, they thought it was offensive. So then Aaron McGruder was about to lose hope. He was about to lose hope. And then he pitched this show to Adult Swim. They were like, dude, fuck yeah, we fucking love this shit. We're gonna put you on the air right now. So later in November of 2005, the Boondocks would air its first episode, The Garden Party, and this basically cemented the Boondocks as a cultural icon. And like over time, Adult Swim grew from this underground secret club shit to an actual big ass network type thing, where they're like, people are actually taking them seriously. Like, they actually have ratings they have to meet. They have to, like, make sure they don't disappoint fans. Because at the time, Adult Swim, back in the 2000s, Adult Swim did not care what the fuck people thought about them. They aired whatever the hell they want, whenever the hell they want. I mean, if they want to air the old 60s Astro Boy at like 5 in the morning, okay. And then you had Super Milk Chan. Super Milk Chan was a fucking fever dream. Like, genuinely. So, I can't really tell you the plot of Super Milk Chan because, like, it's so random. But, like, the basic consensus, you have this 5-year-old foul-mouthed child named Milk. And she lives with her nanny Tetsuko, who is a robot. She has her pet slug Hinage. And then she randomly gets a call from the president. And she has to go solve problem. President call. Basically, the show's form that goes like this. Milk, Tetsuko, and Hinage are doing absolutely jack shit. Landlord fucking bangs on the door asking for rent money. Milk also does not pay her rent. She's evading her rent like Texas. She's committing tax fraud. So that happens. Then the president calls. Some random shit happens. They solve the problem. Episode ends. I understand the show's supposed to be a parody, but like, look at this fucking clip I'm showing you and tell me what the fuck is going on.
All right, Milk, here you go. Okay. What did you do that for? I went to all that trouble to toast it for you.
You dumbass! Rice cakes that don't stretch aren't rice cakes!
What?
Listen, Tetsuko, let me tell ya, rice cakes are tasty because they stretch like this. You got it there, Tetsuko?
Well, sure, I guess that's true. But just bear with it. Recent rice cakes don't get all that stretchy.
No! This official wants to eat real rice cakes! The rice cakes of old were so great.
Like, this is genuinely one of the most random TV shows I've ever seen. And it aired on the Adult Swim Action blog, too. It had a few bumpers to promote it. Including one with, for some reason, they really used a lot of Manamana Good songs for these bumpers. And they also used the song by Collective Efforts. Which is like, oh my god, bro. Go listen to the song, bro. It's actually so good. So, yeah, now that we talked about Adult Swim, let's talk about the demise of Turner Broadcasting System. So, in 2019, AT&T decided to buy out Time Warner, which, in turn, caused Turner Broadcasting System to fade out of existence. Like, just fucking poof. It's gone. All of its assets were dispersed into Warner Bros. Discovery, which actually became to fruition because AT&T, since they merged with Time Warner, they renamed to Warner Media. And then Discovery was like, or the Warner Bros. Was like, hey Discovery, you want to merge with us? And they're like, sure, bro. So they fucking they fucking combine, and now it's Warner Bros. Discovery. And to say that they've been handling Cartoon Network and Adult Swim like shit is an understatement. They've purged HBO Max, their streaming service, of all Cartoon Network shows. Well, not all of them, but like almost all the classics. It got so bad that Tubi had to come in and play hero and save Cartoon Network, because now that they have all these old shows on Tubi for free. So basically, Tubi's going to be like the second incarnation of Boomerang, but without like the cool bumpers. And this is all due to David Zaslav. And let's just say he is not a good CEO. He fucking sucks. He is an avid animation hater, and it shows because he does not like animation, as shown by him purging HBO Max of Cartoon Network, Boomerang, and the Adult Swim section. Well, actually, no, the Adult Swim section is pretty fine. Nothing's really been removed there. But yeah, it has been pretty cheeks. So yeah. In conclusion, Turner Broadcasting System had its run, and it gave us good memories, but like it was time for it to go. It was on its last legs. It was on life support. I'm gonna be honest. It was on life support. It had to be pulled. The plug had to be pulled. While it is sad that Ted Turner's company is no longer with us, Ted Turner is also no longer with us, as in early this May, he passed away. This video somewhat serves as a memorial for Ted Turner, and I thank him for being a visionary and also bringing back the American bison. This has been Addison 47, and I'll see you guys in the next video.